Welcome to Balance Build Yoga. This is a practice for when you want to find stability and steadiness on your feet. We're going to think about this in terms of two key exercises today. So the first one will be activating some key stabilizing muscles. These are the core and the quads for us. They're the muscles we use when we need to brace ourselves. So for instance, maybe I'm walking along and a bicycler speeds past me and I feel off balance. I contract, I use those muscles and grip down in order to stay balanced. Or the same thing if I'm walking down a road and start to trip on a stone or something, I use those muscles, I pull them in, activate them to stay solid and on my feet. So we're gonna get used to, first, we're going to think about what those muscles are, and then we're going to get used to activating them. And then for the second part, we're going to take our attention down to our feet. Our feet is what connects us to the ground most of the time. We want strong ankles, ankles that aren't going to buckle on us. We want a deep connection to the earth through our feet. Once we establish that, we're going to play with our balance a little bit more and challenge and strengthen the key stabilizing muscles that we focused on in the beginning. So it's going to be lots of fun, a challenge and deep work today. We'll have a good time with it. You'll need a few things. We'll need a chair. We'll need some blocks, 2 blocks, and also some space at the wall. Once you get all those and you're ready, you can join me on your chairs, getting nice and comfy. Just taking a moment to set up our alignment. We'll have the knees in line with the hips, and then we'll just walk the feet so that the ankles are underneath the knees. Hands in the lap here. We'll just take a moment to connect to our chairs. So really just ground down, plant in to the seat, to your chair, and then lengthen through the spine. Draw the shoulders away from the ears. And a soft but deep breath here. Inhale. And exhale completely. Starting to get some movement into the body. Let's reach up for the sky, moving as feels good. Just listening to your body as you stretch here. And paying attention to what feels good, because whatever is feeling good that you're moving, it probably means you're holding on to tension and you're feeling good because you're getting some release of that tension. So taking that information, just acknowledging it, storing it, so we learn more about ourselves and our bodies. And then we'll float those arms down. We'll take some gentle movement with the head here, just releasing tension in the neck. Again, moving as feels good. Maybe getting 1 or 2 of those satisfying little cracks. And then we'll bring the head center and we'll look over that left shoulder. Take a deep breath in. Exhale as you draw the head back center. And we'll look over that right shoulder. Deep breath in. And exhale as you draw the head center. Let's take those shoulders up to the ears, holding there for a moment, really squeezing them as tight as you can. If you want, take an opportunity to squeeze that face too, working those muscles in the face. And then we'll release, taking the shoulders down the back. Let's do that again. Shoulders up to the ears. And release. Shoulders to ears. Release. And shoulders to ears. Release. We're going to roll the shoulders back now, and we'll take it nice and slow so we can hit each direction. So again, taking the shoulders up to the ears. And we'll draw them to the back of the room. We lift the heart a little bit to the sky and knit those shoulder blades together. Then drawing the shoulders away from the ears, down the back. And then taking the shoulders forward and towards one another. And we'll do that again, up to the ears. to the back of the room, down the back, and forward. Come to that neutral spine again, and we're going to take it in the opposite direction. So let's draw the shoulders away from the ears. We'll take the shoulders forward and together, then up to the ears, and then behind us, knitting those shoulder blades together. One more time, drawing the shoulders down our back, forward and together, up to the ears, and then behind, lifting that chest and releasing. Inhale those arms up alongside the ears. On the exhale, we'll clasp the hands gently behind the head and just take the elbows to the back of the room. Deep breath in here. On the exhale, drop the chin to the chest and draw those elbows in towards one another. Again, just hardly any pressure on the head. Take a deep breath in. Exhale completely. Lifting the head back up, we'll imagine that center line of the body and then reach away from that center line, getting as much length through the arms as possible. Really, really active here. We're pushing down through the seat into the chair so we get that length in the spine, shoulders down the back, extending through the arms, even the fingertips. And if you like, you can sort of spread your legs wide and straighten them here. So taking up as much space as you possibly can. Holding, holding, holding. And releasing. We're going to take the hands to the lap again, just a little bit of cat-cow here. So we'll start with cow, lifting that chest to the sky. We'll draw the shoulders to the back of the room, arch the spine, really tilt that pelvis back. And then rounding into cow, we will tilt the pelvis forward, drop the chin to the chest, and we can even float the arms up in front of us, hands in line with the shoulder. Take a deep breath in, sitting up nice and tall. On the exhale, we're going to round through that spine again, coming into our cat. Inhale, sitting up nice and tall. We'll arch that spine, lifting the heart up to the sky. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. And coming to neutral spine again, just sitting with a long spine, shoulders softening away from the ears here. We're going to start to take our work into the core now. So that was just a warm up to the body to bring some movement so that our next movements feel a little more comfortable. We'll take our attention to the pelvic floor and the muscles there. Those are the muscles that we use when we have to go to the bathroom, but we can't find a place to go. We need to hold them in. So that's what we're going to work on. If you're a mom, you probably know them as Kegels. All it is drawing the pelvic floor in, those muscles in towards you, and then releasing. We're going to practice that a few times. If you're one of my regular yogis, you know this already. So you'll have an opportunity just to go for it, taking it as deeply as possible. So coming to sit up nice and tall. We're going to lift those muscles, hold, and release. We'll do that again, lifting and release. Lifting and release. Lifting and release. Lifting and release. Deep breath in and exhaling it out. Let's take another round of 5. Lifting, release, lifting the pelvic floor, drawing those muscles in, squeezing them tight. Release, lifting, release, lifting, release. One last time, lifting, release. Let's do one more breath here. Deep breath in. And exhale it out. So I want you to remember that pelvic floor exercise, that lifting of the muscles. We're going to use that again later on in our practice when we come into some of our standing balances. Now, thinking about the core muscles, those are all the muscles that surround this midsection of the body. We're going to think about it in two parts today. Activating the core in the yogi way. So the first part is just to lift the belly. We do that all the time when we're putting on a tight pair of pants. If we're trying to slide through something narrow, we just lift the belly, getting as small as possible right there, drawing that gut in and releasing. If you didn't try it again yet, you didn't try it yet, you can try it now with me, lifting that belly and releasing, lifting and releasing and lifting and releasing. Deep breath in, exhale and release any tension. We'll take a second round of it. This time I'm going to sit sideways so you can maybe see me doing this a little bit. Sitting up nice and tall. Deep breath in and lift the belly and release. Breathing in again. This time we'll use that breath in, then lift the belly, getting that belly a little closer towards the back and releasing. Deep breath in, lift the belly and release. Deep breath in, lift the belly and release. Deep breath in, lift the belly and release. Nice. So that is our step one of the core. When we feel off balance at any time, if we need to use our balance more than usual, that's our first step. We draw in that belly. Second step, and this is one that's going to take practice, is we also draw in the ribs. So pretend for a moment that my hands are my ribs here. I'm going to draw the ribs together and then back towards the spine. If you want, you can try this with me, taking your hands to your ribs. We draw the ribs together and then back towards the spine. One more time, drawing those ribs together and back towards the spine. It's almost like a corseting effect. So when we lift the belly and we're using the ribs, this whole section becomes nice and solid. And we're going for that. So let's try that here. If you want, you can continue to work with the hands here, or you can relax some at your lap if that feels more comfortable. We're going to lift that belly in, and then we're going to draw the ribs together and back towards the spine. You can almost think about it as if you're pushing your spine to the back of the room. That's the kind of action it's taking to draw those ribs together. Let's do that again, lifting the belly and drawing those ribs together and back and releasing. Lifting the belly, drawing those ribs together and back and releasing. Lifting the belly, drawing those ribs together and back and releasing. And one more time here, lifting the belly, drawing the ribs together and back and releasing. Nice job. So I'll continue to cue that out today, and you can continue and return to this video whenever you want to keep on working those muscles until it starts to become more comfortable, more a habit than anything else. Moving on to our quads, another one of our key stabilizers. Quads right here, we want to think about activating again when we're about to fall in our everyday life, or if we feel unsteady in our everyday life, right away we grip there, we brace ourselves using the quads, using the core. So to activate those quads and to build the strength in them, what we really want to think about is pushing down into the soles of the feet, specifically the heels here. If you want, you can keep your hands at your lap and you'll feel your quads harden here. Enjoy that for a moment. Yes, you're strong. And then releasing. Let's do that again. Hands into the laps. Push into the soles of the feet. and relax. Hands to the lap, pushing into the soles of the feet, activating the quads here. And releasing. And again, hands at the lap, pushing into the soles of the feet, activating the quads, making sure that the knees stay in line with the hips here, that you're not letting them roll out or in. And releasing. So one of the best asanas or yoga poses that we can do to activate these quads is Utkatasana. We're going to do our seated Utkatasana first. Taking a deep breath in. On the exhale, we're going to think about really anchoring into the chair through our seat bones. You can even slouch a little bit if you like, because we're really trying to send our energy out of our seat and into the chair. Again, just taking a moment to connect here. And then we're going to push into the soles of the feet, activate the quads, and draw the arms up alongside the ears, holding here. Your ribs are going to want to fly out, draw them, activate that core. So draw that belly in, draw those ribs together and back, holding here. And releasing. Beautiful. Let's do that again. We'll take a moment, we'll ground down into the chair. And then pushing into the soles of the feet, activate the quads, get that length in the spine, lift the belly, draw those ribs together, and then we'll draw the arms up alongside the ears. We feel planted in our chair here. We feel supported and stable because our quads are working for us, and we're really reaching away up towards the sky. And releasing down. Let's do that one more time, grounding down into our chairs. And then pushing into the soles of the feet to activate the quads, lengthening through that spine. And then drawing the arms up alongside the ears. And releasing down. Nice job. You can continue to stay and do this exercise again, seated in your chair. Second level is to come to standing, and we'll do standing Utkatasana. Whether you're seated or standing, feet underneath the hips here. Inhale deeply. On the exhale, we're going to bend the knees to drop the seat. Lift the belly, pull those ribs in, activating that core, and then drawing the arms up alongside the ears, holding here. Take a moment to take your attention to your pelvis. I'm going to give you a side angle view here. And you want to make sure right now I'm arching through that spine, I'm tilting that pelvis back. You want to make sure you are tilting that pelvis slightly forward so you have more of a neutral spine here. We held that long enough, coming to stand tall and releasing the arms down. Let's do that again. Inhaling deeply. On the exhale, dropping the seat. We ground down to the earth. Keep grounded and connected. Push down to the soles of the feet. Activate those quads. Lift the belly. Draw those ribs together. And then arms up alongside the ears. Imagine someone whizzing by you now. Not going to knock you over. You're solid through and through. And coming to stand tall. And we'll do that one more time. Deep breath in. On the exhale, dropping the seat. We keep the knees bent as we press into the soles of the feet, activating those quads. Draw the belly in, draw the ribs together and in. Inhale those arms up alongside the ears. Really reach away from the hips. And coming to stand nice and tall, beautiful. So feeling a little warmer because we're working those muscles so deeply here. We're going to start to just bring our attention to our feet and work through our feet. We'll take a little circle around the room, and we're just going to be really mindful of how we're walking, taking heel to toe here. So we're really rolling through the foot. And you can either have your arms just relaxed, moving naturally, or if you like, at your hips here, a little bit more stability this way. Maybe we make a figure 8 now. Again, just heel to toe, rolling through the foot from the back to the front. And then come to stand tall, feet underneath the hips, and it doesn't matter which way you're standing or anything like that. We're going to keep moving just a second. We're going to continue our walking in a circle, and we're going to walk heel to toe and then push so hard into the toe that the foot is just going to pop off of it. It's almost as if you're imagining you have gum or something stuck to the ball of your foot, and you're trying to scrape it off against the floor. If you want, you can try this a few times, just standing still. And then when you're ready, you can move into your walking. Again, nice and slow. And you can take this into a figure 8 again. And when you're ready, just coming to stand, feet underneath the hips here. Nice. And we're going to continue to one more round here, first in a circle, then in a figure 8. And we're just going to take it nice and slow. And we're going to keep the seat dropped the whole time here. So knees bent, moving or walking nice and slow, heel to foot, almost as if trying to think of a nice way to compare, but as I said, just nice and slow. Maybe you're stuck in gum, so you have to move really slow. And I left right away to my figure 8, but first starting with our circle, we'll go to our figure 8 in just a moment. We're grounded now. Seat is low, connected to the earth. Again, one of these shapes we take when we need to brace ourselves. And getting the body accustomed to it and practicing it so that we build the strength of those muscles that we need just in case we ever have to use them, or for when we have to use them. Moving in a circle now. I'm sorry, we just did circle. Moving in a figure 8 now. And coming to stand tall, planting those feet underneath the hips. We'll just take a moment standing nice and sturdy in your Tadasana. You can roll those shoulders out, externally rotate. Let's take a moment to lift the belly, lift the pelvic floor, draw those ribs in, shoulders away from the ears. And if you like, even closing the eyes, just feeling your connection to this earth and feeling how strong and powerful you can be here. Deep breath in. And on the exhale, softening the body again, opening the eyes. We're going to come to the wall and we'll need those 2 blocks now. And we're going to set them up on the floor horizontally like this. We're going to step 1 foot onto each block. The block should be placed about a foot or so away from the wall. You can take your hands to the wall, and then you're just going to stand on the blocks. We want the feet underneath the hips. Make any adjustments you need to. And then once you're standing on the blocks, you want to make sure that the heels are hanging off here. And from here, I'm just going to draw the heels down towards the ground, stretching through those hamstrings. As I do that, I want to pull the ears away. I want to pull the shoulders away from the ears. That's the typical way you say it, but I suppose you could also pull the ears away from the shoulders. So as you like, you choose. And as we're here, we're in a slight incline. Take a moment to lift that belly, pull those ribs in, activating the core again. Lift the pelvic floor muscles. If it's feeling good, you can lean your forehead against the wall. Again, wanting to make sure that we're using that core here for support. And if you're leaning against the wall, we'll just push back up. And then soften the knees and come to stand on the earth again. We're going to take one block now. You can move the other one off to the side. And we'll take one block here and we'll slip it in between the thighs. Feet are going to be underneath the hips. And we have to begin maybe our left hand at the wall. From here, deep breath in. We're going to push down into the soles of the feet, getting that length in the body, length in the spine. Lift the belly. Draw those ribs in. On the exhale, bend those knees and drop the seat. And keeping that spine nice and long, I just want you to think about squeezing that block and then also pushing into the earth through the soles of your feet without straightening the legs. So we keep that bend in the knees, but we're sending energy out of the soles of the feet. In this way, activating those quads, building strength here. Option to keep that right hand at the hip, or you can extend it up alongside the ear, or you can even take the hand behind the head here as you like. And then we'll straighten the legs. Deep breath in. On the exhale, bending the knees again. Keep those knees bent, but push into the soles of the feet. Squeeze that block. And come to stand tall. Deep breath in. On the exhale, bending the knees, dropping the seat, squeeze the block. Keep the knees bent, push down into the soles of the feet. Activate those quads. Lift the belly. Draw those ribs in. And come to stand tall, releasing that arm down. Nice job. Let's take this block to the earth. And we're going to take our left foot to it. Sorry, our right foot to it, because I'm going to be mirroring you here. So our right foot to it, our left hand at the wall, and I'm going to come to stand on that block. That right hand will be at the hip, and I'm going to flex my left foot here. Next, I'm going to bend that right knee, dropping that left foot towards the earth. I'll model it, or I'll show you in a second, but what I want to make sure that doesn't happen is that we don't drop one side of the hip towards the earth. So we want to keep the hips leveled here, not dropping the hip like this. Keep the hips leveled, and instead, we're going to bend that knee, getting that weight into the heel of the right foot, activating that right quad, and then pushing the earth away, coming to stand tall again. If you haven't already join me now. Deep breath in. On the exhale, we'll bend that right knee. Weight goes into the heel of that right foot. We're pushing down into the block through the sole of the foot. And coming to stand tall. Deep breath in. On the exhale, bending that right knee, pushing the sole of the right foot. Quads are activated. Go ahead, give it a squeeze. Feel your strength and power there. Coming to stand tall. Oof, starting to burn a little bit. Deep breath in to cool off. On the exhale, dropping that left foot towards the earth. Coming to stand tall. One last time, deep breath in. On the exhale, bending that right knee, sending energy out of the sole or heel of that right foot. Then pushing into the sole of the right foot, activating the quads to lift you back up. Woo, you did it. And taking it off the block. Nice job. We're going to take those two exercises on the other side. So we'll have our right hand at the wall now. And we'll begin with this block squeeze between the legs here. Feet underneath the hips. We'll take a deep breath in. On the exhale, we're going to bend the knees, dropping the seat. Push down into the soles of the feet. Squeeze that block, lift the belly. Option to keep that left hand at the hip, raise it up alongside the ear, or take the hand behind the head. And to come up, we'll push down into the soles of the feet to straighten the legs. Deep breath in. On the exhale, dropping the seat. Keep sending energy out of the soles of the feet. Keep those quads activated. Squeeze that block. And come to stand tall. Deep breath in. On the exhale, dropping down once more, bending those knees. Weight is in the heels. Imagine so much energy is going and so much weight is in those heels. You're making a mark, a little print in the earth. Quads are or can be feeling fatigued here, maybe burning, maybe shaking. Stay with it. Deep breaths. Lift that belly. Lightness in the core. Deep breath in. Exhale to stand tall. Beautiful. And releasing that left arm down. We'll take the block to the earth and we'll come to stand on it with our left foot. Our left hand will be at the hip, our right hand at the wall here. We're going to flex that right foot. Deep breath in. On the exhale, we'll bend that left knee. Weight is all in that left heel. We're pushing that heel down further. Strong quad. Again, give it a squeeze. Yes. Turned on there. And then coming to stand tall. Deep breath in. On the exhale, bending that left knee. Again, pushing into the heel. Activate that left quad or turn it on here. And coming to stand tall. Deep breath in. On the exhale, bending that left knee. Coming to stand tall, really pushing into the sole of that left foot. Deep breath in. On the exhale, bending that left knee. And coming to stand tall. One last time, deep breath in. On the exhale, bending that left knee. All that weight is in that left heel. And coming to stand tall. And releasing. Good job. If you'd like, just roll out the hands a little bit, pedal through the feet, just bring a little more softness to the body. We just did a lot of strength building. We want to make sure that we come back to a little bit of softness. Otherwise, we just get rigid. So we want the strength with the fluidity, with the sense of relaxation and ease. You can move these blocks over to the side. And we'll come to stand behind our chair. And I'm just going to stand a little bit over to this left side so that you can see my feet here. Feet to begin are going to be underneath the hips. I want to give you the option. Either you're going to be centered at your chair, or if you like, for a little bit more of a challenge with balance, you'll just have one hand at the chair, this right hand at the chair. It's up to you. Other hand will be at the hip here. And from here, we're going to take a little bend at the knees here, and we're going to lift that left heel away from the earth and then ground it back down a few times like this, working through the foot, building strength in the ankle, and with that stability, lifting and grounding it. That right leg is straight. Maybe just a micro bend at the knee. And the next time you lift that left heel away, hold there for a moment. And then we're just going to draw that left heel forward and then back. So we're working on external rotation of the hip here. Just a few more times. And then grounding that left heel, toes are facing me. Take a soft bend at the knees here, and then push into the soles of the feet. Feel how the quads are activated even here. Lift that belly, draw those ribs together and back. Option to stay just like this, feeling tall and proud. If you want to take it a little further, we'll come onto the balls of the feet, holding here. All of this active, right? All our key stabilizers turned on right now, working for us so that we feel solid in this balance, so that we're building our ability to balance. And lowering those heels down. Let's do that again. Deep breath in, push down into the soles of the feet. We feel the quads activate, lift the belly, ribs together and back towards the spine, holding here, or if you like, coming onto the balls of the feet. And releasing. One last time, let's just take a soft bend at the knees, push down on the soles of the feet, activate the quads, lift belly, draw ribs in, shoulders down the back, and then if you like, coming onto the balls of the feet. And releasing the heels down. Option to stay just here for 3 more balances like we just did. If you want to challenge yourself a bit more, we're going to take a wider stance here. So just step out to the side a little bit. And then maybe we'll even turn our toes out slightly here. Again, taking a moment to push down into the soles of the feet, get that length and then lift in the body, lift the belly, draw those ribs in, shoulders down the back, option to stay here or coming onto the balls of the feet. Strong ankles. Releasing down. Doing that 2 more times at your own time. Last time. Coming onto the balls of the feet when you're ready. Pushing down into the feet. Remember, that's always going to activate your quads. There you go. Done deal with that. Lifting the belly in the very least. Activating the core, and then maybe even drawing those ribs together and back. And releasing. Nice job. Soft bend at the knees. Just walk the feet underneath the hips. And we're going to take this to the other side. So again, you can stay centered at your chair, both hands on the back of your chair, or we'll take that left hand to the chair and the right hand to the hip. Feet are underneath the hips, toes facing me. And we're going to take a bend in that right knee, lifting the heel away from the earth and then grounding it a few times like this, lifting the heel away, grounding it, lifting heel and grounding. And with that grounding, the way I'm saying it, grounding, that's what I really mean, pushing that heel down into the earth. A few more times, lifting the heel away, grounding it, lifting, grounding, lifting, and grounding. One last time, lifting and grounding. Good. We'll lift the heel and then we're going to spiral on the ball of the foot, drawing that right heel forward and then back. Just back and forth like this, working on that external rotation, imagining that that rotation actually is coming from here, but like for yourself, envisioning the external rotation happening at the hip. And in that way, knowing where it's coming from, getting a little deeper into the hip here. And then next time you draw that heel back, we'll ground it again. And then we're going to take a gentle bend at the knees, push down into the soles of the feet, straightening the legs, activating those quads, lift the belly, draw those ribs together and back. And if you like, coming to stand on the balls of the feet and lowering. And we'll do that again, slight bend at the knees to push down into the earth, activating the quads, lift that belly. And if you like, coming to stand on the balls of the feet and releasing down, soft bend at the knees, straighten the legs, resisting the earth, and coming to stand tall. Maybe floating the heels away from the earth as well. And releasing down. Nice. Option 2, continue and do 3 more just like this. If you want to challenge yourself, walk the feet out a little wider. And then turn those toes out. And again, we'll push down into the soles of feet so hard that the heels just lift away from the mat or earth. And releasing heels down. We'll do that again. Deep breath in. On the exhale, push down into the balls of the feet. Activate those quads and lift the heels away. And release. Inhaling deeply. On the exhale, lifting those heels away. And releasing down. Nice job. All right, moving into more of our balances now. We're going to come onto this left side of our chair again. And I'm going to take that left hand to my hip. And I will step my right foot back, taking the ball of the foot to the earth. Some people call this kickstand here. Actually, I'm going to switch this. I'm going to step that right foot underneath my hip again. I'm going to take it the other way. So I'm going to step that left foot back, coming into this sort of kickstand position. Then I'm going to bend that front knee, making sure it's right over the ankle. So just take a moment to look at that. And if it's not quite, you'll just need to step that foot back a little bit so that the alignment is set up right here. So we're in a little lunge here. And from here, just drawing that back heel, that left heel towards the earth, getting a hamstring stretch, getting a little stretch in that left hip flexor here. And then from here, we're going to draw that left hand up alongside the ear. And we're going to push down in the sole of that right foot. What does that do? You guys know it activates the quad here. So it's going to give us stability so that we can reach forward and center a little bit. And then pull. We're going to grab onto something, and then pull it back towards your hip. And then we're going to extend that left arm up to the sky again. And we'll repeat that. So again, make sure you're pushing into that sole of the right foot, activating those quads, holding you stable here. We're going to reach forward, grab onto something, and then push into the sole of that right foot, lifting the torso back tall again. And a few more times at your own time. And the next time we draw that left hand to the hip, we can just rest it there a moment. We're going to come and shift our weight forward. So we'll straighten or start to straighten that right leg. Just giving it a little bit of a break because that quad was just working so hard for us. An option to come right back into the same lunge you were just in, or you can see if you can take it a little bit deeper by stepping that left foot back even further. Once you're in your lunge, we're going to extend that left arm up to the sky again, holding here for a moment. Activate the right quads, push into the soles of the feet, and then we're going to take even a bigger reach. So really stretch through the torsos, stretch through the arms. See if you and me can meet fingertip to fingertip. And then grabbing at the air and pulling it back. And we'll do that a few times. So you can feel it here. I can feel it here. We're building strength here. Keep breathing. And the next time you pull that left hand back to the hip, rest it there for a moment. We'll start to straighten that right leg, just giving it a little bit of a break. And then soft bend in both knees, and you can just walk the feet so they're underneath the hip. Nice job. We're going to come into our warrior two here. So we're going to step away from the chair, but still make sure we can hold onto it. From here, we're going to turn out that right foot and then take a little bend at that right knee. We can step that left foot out to the side until we feel comfortable in our warrior two, wanting to make sure that that right knee is right over the ankle here. From there, we'll float that left arm out to the side, hand in line with the shoulder, and we can look over that right shoulder here. And then to work the core again, this time the obliques, we're going to draw that left hand to the right shoulder and rotate the spine. It's almost like we're closing in here. It's a real sort of twist happening. And then opening back up into our warrior two. Push down into the sole of that right foot so that we're not wobbling at the knee at all. It's really staying fixed. The quads are stabilizing us as well, and our knee stays protected in this way. So again, pushing down in the sole of that right foot, we're going to draw that left hand to the right shoulder, rotating and opening back up. And one more time, rotating. Let's hold here. Again, is this quad active? Let's not forget about that other foot too, that left foot. So really push down into the earth and make sure that the weight is equally distributed. So we're not rolling on the inside of that left foot or rolling onto the outside of the left foot, equally pushing into the earth on both sides of the feet. And we'll open back up into our warrior two. Now you'll have the option to take the same pose just as you were. If you want to get a little deeper into the hips here, we're going to stand with our feet underneath our hips. kind of sidestep ourselves up to our chair. And then we're going to take that right foot to the seat of our chair here. We're deep in that right hip here. Just taking a moment to settle in that right hip. And then we'll float that left arm up, hand in line with the shoulder here. We're still pushing into the sole of that right foot, activating the quad, staying nice and steady here. Option to stay just like this, or if you like, you can rotate the spine again. And opening back up. We'll do that again. And opening back up. And again, this time to hold. Keep breathing and keep exploring your body as you hold. And what I mean by that is there any way or anything that you can activate more to get deeper into the pose? So I feel myself right now, if I push harder into my standing leg, that left leg, I can get a little deeper into my rotation. Making sure and being mindful though, that this knee isn't dropping out to the side or to the inside, it's staying over that ankle. And releasing, opening back up into your warrior two, taking a moment to stand tall and proud here. This is like one of those 18th century, portraits of the founding fathers. Just taking a moment to enjoy it. And releasing. We'll turn the torso in to face our chair. And we're going to plant our hands at the seat of our chair and then just walk the feet out slightly, making sure they stay underneath the hips. Just coming into this little forward bend here. You can drop the head if you like. And if you want to, you can see if you can drop down onto the forearms. Just taking a moment to soften and relax the body. So much strengthening, so much balance building today. Now just softening the body for a second. Take a deep breath in. Exhale it out. And if you're on the forearms, we'll walk back up onto the hands. And again, just take a moment to feel yourself really grounded to the earth here, feet underneath the hips, maybe just a little bit wider. And then we're going to bend that right knee. And we'll take that left arm up to the sky, rotating through the chest, just holding here for a moment. And then releasing, taking that left hand back to the seat of your chair. Again, soft bend at the knees here. And we're going to inhale that left arm up alongside the ear. Make sure we're activating the core here. Actually, all the key stabilizers. So let's do that core first. Let's lift that belly, draw those ribs in, then press down into the soles of the feet, activating the quads. Once we're doing that, we're working hard, but we also feel a lightness or sort of lift in this pose. So holding there for a moment. Really reaching away from the hips. And then releasing the hand back into the chair. We'll come to stand tall for a moment. Let's just take a stretch up to the sky. Deep breath in as you do so. And exhaling, releasing the arms at your sides. We'll take the hands to the seat of the chair again. Again, push down into those feet, activate the quads, lift that belly, draw those ribs together and in. And then you can float that left arm up alongside the ear. Option to stay just like this, repeating the exercise we just did. Or if you like, you can kick back that right foot, maybe coming onto the ball of it, again, making that kickstand position. And then you have a little bit more leverage to reach away, get that length in the spine and left side body. And if you want to take it a little further, floating that right leg up away from the earth. Really pushing into the sole of that left foot, quad activated. Keep breathing. And releasing down. And coming to stand tall, nice job. We're gonna take those exercises on the other side. I'm hoping my mirroring is still working well. You guys know, if you come to my class, I'd mess it up from time to time, and that's why we've gone to not be mirroring, just calling out cues and you guys doing the same cues, but I think we can do mirroring, we can try it again. So it may be working just fine. So we're gonna come to stand with our left hand at the top of our chair. And we're going to step that left foot back, coming onto the ball of it and finding our lunge here. So left knee is right over the ankle. In fact, I'm just going to move my chair a little bit forward so I can get a little bit more length. Settling into this lunge here. And again, pushing into the sole of the left foot, activating those quads. And extending the right arm up alongside the ear. We're going to continue pushing the sole of that left foot as we reach forward, grabbing onto something there and pulling it back to the hip. And we'll repeat that, reaching forward and pulling back, reaching forward, pulling back, reaching forward, quads still activated, supporting us, pulling us back, reaching forward, pulling back, and one last time, reaching forward here and pulling back. We're going to straighten that left leg, giving those quads a little bit of a break. And actually, we forgot to do this part. We're going to drop that back heel towards earth, that hamstring stretch. And then coming onto the ball of that back foot, we'll return to our lunge, bending that left knee right over the ankle. Option to stay just here, or you can step back into a deeper lunge here. Settling here, and then drawing that right arm up alongside the ear. And we're going to reach even further for each other's fingertips. And pulling back. And again, reaching up for the sky. Then forward, push down into the sole of the foot, activate the quads, holding your wrist, keeping you stable, then reaching back. Again, reaching up and forward, and drawing back, up and forward, drawing back, up and forward, and drawing back. Let's take a moment again to straighten that left leg. We'll draw that back heel down towards the earth. Then soft bend of the knees and walk the feet underneath the hips. Nice job. Coming into our warrior two. We're going to turn those left toes out. The right toes are facing me. And we'll take a little bend at that left knee, making sure it's right over the ankle. If it's not, if you feel like you're lunging or shifting your weight forward, that knee is creeping over the toes, draw it back, and then just walk that right foot out a little bit more to the side so that you can get into a warrior two that is right for you, making sure again that that knee is over the ankle. Once you're there, we're going to float that right arm up, hand in line with the shoulder, holding here, and then looking over that left shoulder. From here, really push down into the sole of the left foot, activate those quads. And then we're going to rotate the spine to the left, drawing right hand to left shoulder. And then opening back up into our warrior two. We'll repeat that again. Deep breath in. Exhale, rotating. Releasing back into our warrior two. Deep breath in. And rotating to hold. Again, reaffirm that those quads are working. We are building strength today. No rest. Well, there's a little rest, but the big rest only at the end. Otherwise, working today, building strength. Getting our muscles accustomed to this movement so that they will work instinctually for us. Eventually, with enough practice. And opening up into our warrior two. And we'll straighten the legs. You can take the feet underneath the hips. Option to come into that same warrior two that you just did. Or we'll turn to face in towards our chair. Take that left foot to the top of our chair. And actually, before I do that, I'm going to just turn that right foot so that the toes are facing you. And so your toes will be facing me. And then we'll take that left foot to the chair. Coming into our warrior two here, dropping deep in that left hip. And then floating that left arm, that right arm out, hand in line with the shoulder here. And pushing into the sole of that left foot, activating the quads here. And then with the next breath, I'm going to rotate right hand to left shoulder. And opening back up. Repeating that. And opening back up. And repeating to hold. And opening back up. Looking over that left shoulder again. Gaze slightly up because we are nice and proud. Feeling strong and steady on our feet. Take a deep breath in. On the exhale, releasing. Again, we'll turn to face the side of our chair, ground the hands into the seat of our chair, walk the feet back slightly so the feet are underneath the hips. And then you can let the head hang heavy, just coming into a little relaxing forward bend here, letting our muscles relax, giving ourselves a chance to rest here again. Because even when we're strengthening, we need to still be fluid and soft and movable. If we just strengthen without anything else, we become rigid. So taking a moment to find this softness. If you like, maybe see if you can drop down onto the forearms. A couple of deep breaths here. And then if you're not already on your hands, walking yourself back up onto your hands. We're going to bend that left knee, plugging the left hand into the seat of the chair and reaching that right arm up for the sky. Holding here in this twist. So this is where I feel like my mirroring might not be working, but we do want to be rotating the opposite way of what we rotated previously, and ideally towards the center of the room, away from the back of the chair. There's always room for improvement. Next time I'll figure this one out. And releasing the hand back to the seat of the chair. Making sure the feet are really plugged into the earth, maybe just a tiny bit wider than the hips. Then we're going to push into the soles of the feet. Keep the knees bent, but we're pushing so hard into the soles of the feet. The quads are activated here. Lift the belly, draw those ribs in, and then see if you can float that right arm up alongside the ear.
Holding here. And releasing the right hand to the seat of the chair again, coming to stand tall. We'll inhale those arms up and exhale them back down. Hands return to the seat of the chair. We're going to take that right foot and just walk it towards the center line of the chair a little bit. So center of the side of the chair here. And then we'll take that left foot and take the ball of the foot to the earth behind us. So just step it back slightly. Again, that kickstand position. Push down into the sole of the right foot. Activate the quads. Lift the belly. Lift the ribs. Draw that right arm up alongside the ear. And then see, you can hold right here or maybe start to float that left leg up to the sky. Remember your stabilizing muscles, use them. One more breath here. And releasing, nice job. Coming to stand tall. Just gonna do a quick time check. We'll do one more balance here. So we're gonna do our tree today. We'll come to stand behind our chair. And then I'm gonna move to that left side of my chair, keeping the right hand at the chair, left hand at the hip here. And I'm gonna shift my weight to the left, come onto the ball of my right foot, and then draw the heel forward. So we're doing that external rotation of the hip here, holding here for a moment, already really thinking about lifting away from the earth, shoulders away from the ears. An option to stay just like this. Again, lifting the belly, drawing those ribs in. And even here to get that sense of lightness, lifting the pelvic floor that we did at the beginning. And if you like, you can take the sole of the right foot to that standing leg at the ankle or calf, and then holding here a couple of breaths. And if you want to take it even further, we'll draw that left arm up alongside the ear, getting that length in that left side body. And if you want, coming to take goddess pose with that left hand, thumb to pointer finger. And taking left arm up alongside the ear again. And floating left hand down to hip. Another breath here. Again, feeling your steadiness, feeling your strength. And releasing. Nice job. We'll take that to the other side. Left hand at the top of our chair. And we're going to just take a moment here. And we'll come onto the ball of that left foot. Just taking a moment to drop into the left hip. So of course we want to rotate that heel forward. An option to stay just like this. We're pushing into our standing leg, lifting the belly, lifting the pelvic floor. If you want to take it a little bit further, we'll take the sole of the left foot to the standing leg at the ankle or calf. Taking a moment to further ground down, root in or anchor, however you want to think about it. Grounding down into the earth so we can lengthen away. Again, just check, is the core activated? Belly lifted, pelvic floor lifted. Yes, yes, great. Can we draw those ribs in a little bit? Great. And then if you like, taking that right arm up alongside the ear. Maybe taking our goddess pose with that right arm. Mudra, thumb to pointer finger. And then arm up alongside the ear again. Just another breath or two. Again, reaching away from the earth. Feeling our strength. Proud of our stance and our balance. Our steadiness on the feet. And releasing. Beautiful. Coming to sit on our chair. Coming to the end of our practice. So just a couple of gentle stretches here. And actually, let's come to sit on the side of our chair. So we're going to walk ourselves around. Get a little length in the spine. And then we're going to rotate in towards the back of the chair. You can take your arms to the top of the seat of your chair or the top of the back of your chair. And then just hold this rotation here. If you like, you could even lower the head to your hands or forearm. Just relaxing here, a gentle twist. And coming to sit up tall again. We're going to walk ourselves to the other side of our chair. Take your time, and why not? This is the end of our practice. You have more mobility in those hips now. You can really lift those knees in toward the chest. Oh, I like these. These are my Jack and the Beanstalk. I feel like this is how the giant probably walks. Big, massive steps like that. Then coming to settle. Nice and tall, some length in the spine. Then we're going to rotate towards the back of our chair. Hands or forearms come to those chairs. Option to stay just like this, or if you like, releasing the head onto the arms. A couple of breaths here. And releasing. Giant steps to face me again. We're going to take that right leg to the center line of our chair, cross the left over the right. And then holding onto the back of our chair with that right hand, we're simply going to take the left hand to the thigh and release into a sort of forward bend here. We're holding onto that back of the chair so that we can feel comfortable, really releasing over the legs without fear of falling over. But remember, even more than holding on, what do we want to do? This is absolutely a test. How can we stabilize ourselves as we lean forward? We are pushing into the sole of that foot, activating that quad. So it's a counterbalance to that forward stretch, right? I know you guys got that. Good job. And coming to sit up nice and tall, uncrossing the legs. We'll take that over to the other side, crossing the right leg over the left, reaching for the back of the chair with that left arm. Right hand is going to sit at thigh as we release into a forward bend. Push down into the sole of that left foot, activating the quad. And coming to sit up nice and tall, uncrossing the legs, walking the feet so that the knees are in line with the hips. Taking the ankles underneath the knees, hands to the heart. Just a couple of final breaths here to end our practice, letting all that strengthening just settle in the body. Close those eyes if you like. Take a moment to scan the body, noticing how you're feeling. Have you cultivated more lightness and strength? Can you sense it? Then take a deep breath in. And on the exhale, let all that effort and work settle in the body from crown of the head to the feet. Thank you for joining me in practice today. Namaste.